Special thanks to these companies for being long-term partners of this channel.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach, and here we talk about overlanding gear, builds, DIY, all sorts of stuff related to modifying your vehicle for getting out there and enjoying the outdoors. And today we're going to be talking about different mattress options, and specifically one that I think a lot of you maybe already use or are very curious about, and that is the Luno mattress. So thanks to Luno, a huge shout out to them. They sent me one of their mattresses to test. This is the 4Runner specific option, but they make them for a variety of vehicles. We also have a set of window screens here, and I also asked if I could get one of these magnetic bags that allow you to store shoes on the side of your vehicle when you hop in and you don't want to get your shoes on your bed inside your rig. So we got some awesome products here. I really want to test these out, so we're gonna go on a little trip, but I just wanted to do a little intro here and explain this awesome gear that we're gonna be checking out. So let's do a little unboxing, and then I'm gonna show you it in the vehicle and then kind of give you my thoughts after sleeping in it in a night. And we can talk a little bit more about the mattress. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's just talk about some of the smaller things first. We'll talk about the mattress last. So this is just a small little stuff sack. It says Luno on the sides, and then car window screens, if you can see that, kind of bright. Car window screens. And this is kind of like a really light gray bag. It's a different shade of gray from these other bags, but if we just open this up, these are just some thin no-seam mesh window screens you can throw over your back passenger windows. So these are super awesome because it looks like they might not let in a ton of light, which is really awesome, and obviously they're going to keep out the bugs. So, you know, obviously there's not a whole lot else to talk about other than the fact that I think these only really work on windows with frames. So if you have like a frameless window where when you roll down your window, it's like super sleek or like kind of like a convertible or whatever. I don't know how else to describe it. Those are frameless windows, and these aren't gonna work as well because you can't roll your window down and still hold the screen up. That's all these are. Nothing too crazy or mind-blowing, but they look to be very high quality. And sometimes the elastic on these can be kind of cheap, or the screens aren't that nice if you buy like a cheap Amazon version. So these look really awesome. Looking forward to testing these out. So that's the door screens. This is just a handy little bag for storing your shoes in. Essentially what it is the one side has this bar and you can just toss shoes in. There's a mesh of some kind on the bottom so that they'll drain any water that is on them. And then you've got these big magnets with a little piece of fabric so that they won't scratch the metal on your car. So pretty slick. Again, nothing too mind-blowing, but then we got the Luno printed right on there. And then that little lid will kind of fold over the top of it when it's hanging on the side of your car. Again, I'll show how this works on the 4Runner, but just want to show it under the camera just to kind of show you what the product is a little more up close. Now for the finale, this is the mattress. Comes in this super nice bag. Got a couple of different things that are included. I haven't actually unboxed this yet, but we'll talk through some of the stuff. I kind of have an idea of what came in here. So this is a little pump. I don't think this is a high output pump, so they sell two different versions. This is the lower output pump, but it just plugs into a cigarette lighter, and you can plug this in. And then you can pump up your mattress. And it looks like they've even got this little adapter, so maybe they have something smaller that if you want to pump that up, you can. Not quite sure what that's for. I think we'll find out a little later. And then if we roll this out here, anything else? Nope, nothing else. So it just comes with the pump, and then we've got the mattress here as well. No sense in really opening this up too much. I think it's just kind of like a standard air mattress as far as the way you pump it up. So you've just got this little valve here, pump it up, work quickly, and then this looks like you need this little adapter to actually fit inside this hole. Because if you just use this one, it's too large, doesn't work correctly. So one thing I will mention is sometimes companies send like really cheap bags, but this is like a super high quality ripstop bag. So this pattern is like purposeful to make this extra strong. It's not just for looks. So I really appreciate that. This is a nice little attention to detail. It's a super durable bag. So that's kind of just the quick overview, checking this out. Let's actually get it out to the 4Runner and set it up and see how this thing is going to work. Hey everyone, so it's about 7 o'clock and just waking up, starting to make some coffee, and just wanted to show you kind of the camping setup here. So we got just a nice little fire pit, and it's just your typical state park campground. It's tough to disperse camp up here in northern Minnesota without going really north, and if you want to be close to Lake Superior, then you kind of have to go with the state parks. And honestly, it's not a big bummer to me. I do like these state parks. They're quite nice, and this time of year they're not super busy. Also, just finding a site in case they're all taken can be kind of tough if you're driving up after work. So just finished making some coffee, and if you saw earlier, I've been using these lights from Devos. They're super awesome. You've just got this little light on the side, and if you click it 3 times, you can go through some dimmer settings. Charges through this USB on the bottom. Or sorry, charges with this like little micro USB on the side. And then the bottom has this USB port, which is pretty sweet. I think that's if you want to like charge other things off the battery. But yeah, super slick. Got a little hook on the top, so you can hang them like a lantern. And then what's even more nice is you can just turn them on and set them down just like your typical lantern, and they've got a pretty nice stand. So that's pretty sweet. And to make it even better, they come with these stands. So in the video last night, you know, you can stick them on these stands. They clip in. They've got this little spring ball, and that's how you can hook them up to these stands. You can stick them at like 7 feet high, and it honestly felt like it was daytime around our campsite. We had plenty of light, able to set up everything, and just made the setup super easy since it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and there's a ton of setup we had to do still in the dark, so it was nice having those lights. So I just want to walk you around the setup here a little bit. Sun is kind of harsh, but just kind of show you what's going on. So if you notice here, actually don't have my drawer set up, so I got rid of my drawer setup, and I've been testing out a couple other things. Luno sent me a mattress, which is super awesome, so we tested that out last night. Since I don't have the tray in the back, you can't just sleep in here without some sort of shim, so actually had to bring along my dog's kennel, and turns out it's actually a pretty decent shim to level out this space. So we just threw that under there. That leveled it out, and then we'll have our kennel later on in the day when we need it. As far as like just a venting sort of situation, we've got these roadies. I've talked about these before, but maybe some of you haven't seen them yet. These just go over the window. You can roll your window down, and then there's a screen. So super handy and great if it's raining as well. And then all the windows, I've got this reflective stuff. It's a pretty nice setup as far as keeping everything clean and tidy. If we walk over here, we actually don't have Otis sleep with us because he's just huge and it takes up way too much space. So if you see here, kind of shows it's a little dark, but the dog platform is right up there. And that's a nice place for him to sleep while we sleep in the back. So, and then just use this front seat here for some storage. Works really nice. So this is the Luno mattress. Obviously it says it right there. And so what's really cool is they're 2 separate air mattresses, so you can actually deflate one entirely and like fold it, you know. So if I deflated this one and folded it, you can fold it either way and then just tuck the deflated mattress under the other. So this works as a single mattress as well. So you've got that double single feature. This is also just like a pretty thick air mattress, so this material is a lot thicker than your standard air mattress. The materials feel really nice. That was one thing that always, you know, annoyed me as a kid, was using Walmart air mattresses that would deflate throughout the night. Didn't have any problems. I think these are a lot sturdier than your standard air mattress, which is reflected some in the price, but you get what you pay for typically. So like I was saying too, the center here has this little crease, which, you know, you might think is actually a bummer, but it's really not, because since this fabric kind of bridges that gap, you don't feel the crease. But actually having separate air mattresses is really nice, because if one person moves, the other person really won't feel it at night. So this is super comfortable. I don't think we did a perfect job of leveling this out. Like I said, that we used my dog's kennel to kind of level the space. I think the head was a little bit low, but the truck was on level, so it worked out. But if I'm gonna run this setup more long term, I'm definitely gonna put something other than the dog kennel under there, some sort of wooden platform that levels it out really nice. So, and then with this mattress, you inflate it on the side here. So you've got this little inflate valve, and then right up top here there is a deflate valve. You can see it says deflate on there. And then obviously there's this gap. So if you check out Wilderness Off-Road's channel, he actually talks a little bit about the backseat bivy, which is just this, it's like this piece of fabric that hooks into your back, your headrests, and comes down here, and I think it hooks into the back of the seat or something. It's really handy because it just creates a way to block this off and create, you know, anything from falling down into the wheel wells. I just stuffed some stuff in there, and it actually worked really well, especially since I needed my power bank kind of close to my head. Putting that right down in there actually filled the space quite nicely. So I didn't mind that. I think you'd be surprised by how quickly you can just stuff some bags or whatever down in this gap, and you won't have any issues. Here's just another little angle on my side. So I had my power bank down there, and then I had that ran to a little fan here. Just kind of nice to have a fan for white noise. I like sleeping with white noise. And then this is where you would roll your window down, and then you'd have your screen using this roadie. So, and then yeah, this is basically where Otis's dog platform sits. If we just pop that out, I just rolled the window down. Basically his bed sits right here on this wooden plywood platform I've built, and it's pretty slick. All it does is sits on the armrest of the door, and then the armrest in between the two front seats, and then there's a little wooden insert in the cup holder space to support the front. So, and then that's just cut out to fit right along this front space here. So it's really slick. Honestly, maximizes this front space so that we actually have a place to put our dog. So here's just a little example of, if you actually wanted, you could stack them and you could create it like too thick. One thing too that actually might have contributed to how well I slept was this kennel, I think, is like making it slope in here. And so that was kind of annoying because the middle was low and the sides were a little high. So definitely just build like a little plywood platform in here, and I think that should make it a lot better. Because yeah, you can even see like the mattress is kind of sloping a bit. So not ideal, but whatever. And I just wanted to show this because if you wanted, you could put like a cooler here or something, and this would be a pretty nice solo camping setup as well. So definitely a bunch of different configurations with this, which is really nice. You know, having this fold allows you to do a lot more, you know, configurations of the setup rather than just having one mattress that is huge and bulky. The other really nice thing about this is, since it is an air mattress, I can completely tear it down. Unlike my memory foam mattress, this takes up way less space, and it's a lot easier to travel with, so I really like that. So for probably the biggest question, probably still outstanding, is how did I actually sleep? Like, was it good? Were you comfortable? And I think my answer to this is somewhat, but it's not the Luno's, you know, mattress fault. My bed at home is fairly squishy. I don't sleep on a really firm mattress, and so I think I actually pumped these up a little bit too hard. So you can adjust how squishy they are, and I think I should have just made it a little softer.
If you like this video, or you like the sort of content that I'm doing with the channel, please consider subscribing. You know, that's going to be all for this video, but I post content weekly, and if you enjoyed this video, you probably enjoy some of my other content. So thank you so much for watching. It means a lot if you support the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.